Hey, you guys, and happy Saturday. Today I'm gonna make you an introduction about myself so that people know who I am, and I'm gonna do it on English so that people and viewers from around the world can understand the words coming out of my mouth. So who am I? I am Rolf, and I'm 50 years old. I am a retired chief officer. I did drive buses for many years, both the tourist bus and school bus and coaches. A job I loved very much because I like to integrate with people and meet new people every day, and I did that. And I like to give them a good service to make them come from A to B safely and in a comfort way. So that was a job I loved very much. But in 2018, I was amputated on my left leg, right under my knee. So I am disability now. And that also lead to that I was not allowed to drive bus anymore. So I had to quit a job I loved very much. And when you were my age at that time, so it's not easy just to go out and find a new job when the only thing you've been doing is riding a bus. But I started in my early days to become an able seaman and travel around the world, sail around the world with ships and stuff like that. So I got this idea that in the old days, the pirates could have one leg, and that was wooden ship, and a wet deck and wooden prosthetics, So that should be easy to do in the world we have today. So I kind of searched for if it was possible to become a navigator, that which was my dream when I was young, to become a navigator or maybe even a captain, someday. And I did some search around, and they had a lot of doctors in over, so they kind of accepted and say, "Let's try this," because it was not the plan that I should run around on outside the ship. I was navigating the ship from the bridge and stuff like that, so it should be something you could do. So, I actually got approved for it. So I started a new education for 1.5 year to become a navigator. And right after that, I actually got a job as a chief officer on board a brand new high-speed ferry we have in Denmark. Uh, so that was kind of very cool for me to do. There was no issues about it or anything. It was kind of good, but the problem was that after a while, I fell and broke my leg, and nothing bad about that. That you can do that and then heal and rehab, and you go on again to work. But just a couple of days before I needed to start back on work, I was rushed to the hospital, and they found out that I had a stroke in my brain. So that kind of made me go backwards for everything. And again, it was so confusing for me and sad, because now what's gonna happen from now on, So, but I tried to work hard on the rehab, and I had my right side was paralyzed, not all, but mostly, and I started to lose concentrations and could not focus on things. So it was a hard comeback I need to do if I would do any dreams about getting back on the ferry to work again. But I managed it, and so that was great. And I really focused hard on training my brain to, because when you sail high-speed ferries, it's kind of like, you need to be alert, way ahead of you on the sea. It's much like airline pilots, the same safety issues we have as navigators on board that. The health is need to be in good shape, so which is good for safety, But also sailing a ferry was very nice again because I again had contact with a lot of people and I was in charge of making sure that they came from A to B again in a safe way. They put their life in the hands of us, so you need to do a good job. And I really did, and I loved it very much. Despite the things I've been through and stuff like that, I've always been seen, both the passengers and my colleagues, as a person that is always smiling and have a good humor and stuff like that, So, and I think that's one of the ways that you survive things when you go through crisis like that. You have a life where you almost lose your life, if you can say it. So it is, do it with some humor and smiles and be happy for what you have and be happy every day you wake up and have a new day in front of you. So that was good, but then after I started again, they found out that I had some issues with my heart. So I was rushed to the hospital again, and it seemed the reason because I got the stroke was that I had had blood clots in my heart. So when that got released, it kind of all the small particle you have in your veins that went to my brain and sat there. So I was in a surgery at the hospital in my heart too. So, and that's kind of ended my era and my sailing career and work career. So doctors said that you need to think about your health now and think about getting as good as life you can have. So we ended up in agreement to that I should be retired. So I did. And what have I done since? This was in 2023 and 24. So what have I done now after that? Kind of started going out and do lectures, and telling people about my story and what I've been through, and also the way that even that you get some diseases or you get disability or something like that, it doesn't have to stop your dream because you should aim your goals and go for it. So, and you can do it if there's a will, there's a way, and if you have the believe in yourself, you can do it. I think that's the way it is, So, uh, but after now, I'm telling people about my story and what I do, and also it's not so much about the issues, about the things you have a sickness or a disability. It's more like it's always a fight for your right and what you're supposed to have and help and stuff like that. When you work with the government to make them, we pay a lot of taxes in Denmark, so it's kind of like our health system is here to support us when things like this happen, but it doesn't work like that. There's so many obstacles on your way and you have to fight not only with your disease and stuff like that or sickness, but you also have to fight against the system. So I love to go out and tell people about that and how I work through it and stuff like that. So uh, that is also the point of making this channel, to be like something that I can tell you people about. And I will say right away that I will not make it as any setups, and do a lot of fancy with cameras and lights and stuff like that. No, I really want to just meet you people like I am in natural ways, So it's kind of like if I go to a lecture, if I screw up in something I say, or if my hair is bad or something, or I sneeze, you don't know, I cannot just edit that. So I don't want to do that here either. So if I screw up here, bear over with it and, and just laugh about it because I will not edit it. It will just be like that. And I stumble over my words sometimes, and I get confused. But I hope you can live with that. So otherwise, I love to draw. I love drawings, and I love aviation. I love ships, and there's a lot of things I do have as a hobbies, you know. So I have a daughter and just became a granddad in August, so that is something that keep me driving too. But that was just a small part of it, and so now I introduced it on English so the viewers from around the world can understand what I'm saying, because I see a lot of my videos is made on Danish, I know that, but I will try to do something also in English so people understand. And as you see, I put up a lot of videos from aviation because I like it, you know. I think there's something fantastic about it, also with ships, you know, that you can have ships in iron that weighs 300,000 tons, you know, and you can make that float on water because of the engineering of it, you know. I think that's something amazing. The same I have about aviation. Can you imagine you see an airplane weighing maybe 300 tons is driving down the runway and take off and get away from the air, you know, from the ground, you know, and up in the air, and brings you to maybe 12 kilometers up, you know. That is amazing. So, but and I like to share things like that. Like, there will be many things I will share about stuff that you may be not interested in, but then you can just skip it. It's okay. No hard feelings about it, you know. And I don't. It's nothing about getting popular or something. So I don't see how many viewers there are. I don't see how many subscribers or likes I get or anything. It's not about that. It's just about, for me, telling my story, and maybe I will be that lucky to motivate someone else to go on, you know, and do things, and maybe can use some of the things I tell in their life and their story, you know, to get along and come move on. So that is really the big thing I have. So that's mostly what I have to say in this video, and I will bring some more stuff about myself in the next video, so you will hear about that. So anyway, keep on having a very good Saturday and a weekend ahead of you, and promise me you take good care about yourself and always stay safe. And always remember that the shortest way between two people is always the smile. Don't forget that. That is the shortest way you find it. And then just don't take anything for granted in life, because you never know what's gonna happen. So stay tuned and subscribe if you want, and like if you want, share if you want, comment if you want. Take very good care about yourself. May God bless you all.